Hey, what's up, guys? It is the Cypher Slacker, and I'm going to show you 3 Magistus combos that are associated with my Magistus Let's Build. We are going to be looking at the Spoon 1-card combo. That's right, Spoon is a 1-card combo. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you 2-card combos using Zora and using Riona. And first, we're gonna go Spoon to Zora to equip the Moon, and then we're gonna recover the Spoon. You're gonna turn Spoon into Moon. You're going to activate the Moon in the back row's effect. After you activate the Moon in the back row's effect, you're going to add the Crowley Gifted of Magistus. Then you're going to activate his effect, because when he's added, he is a, what is that, Snake Eyes Ash. Ironically, there's so many cards that had that effect before that. I don't know why we denote Snake Eye Ash to it, but we're going to take these two, turn them into Zathrenga. Now, if my opponent decides to Nibiru here, we can actually just send this other Moon and keep playing. It's no problem. It's not it's like, not even an issue. So then we're going to target him with Spoon. We're going to summon out the Nina Ruru, and then we're going to take these 2 back row to make Chorizo. Yes, you can use back row to make Chorizo. That is like insane. And then we're going to go Riona. After we summon out the Riona, we're going to summon out the main deck Riona. And on summon, she's going to get us the Veer Magic Lacrima of Light. Thank God it's always treated as a Magistus card. If not, it would be absolutely useless. So we're going to make the Crescent. On summon, the Crescent's going to equip itself with the Crowley. You're going to set the Lacrima, and you're going to pass turn. So now it might not look like much. We didn't commit a lot to the board, but we have a monster negate. We have a way to summon out one of the most busted monsters. So when your opponent activates any card effect, that's any card effect, you flip Veer and you special summon a Magistus. You then chain the link to bounce him back to hand. You then summon out the Crowley, the Magistus of Grimmies. Your opponent, searches, whatever. And then you activate the Crowley from hand, summon him out. Now, this is kind of where we have a little divergent. We kind of have a tree here. You can do one of, actually, I think one of several fusions. You can go Invoked Mechaba. If you have a spell card in hand and you have a lot of hand traps, you could just, discard the spell and negate that and then rely on the hand traps. You can go for Invoked Magistus Omega, and then you can banish something on board. That's totally fine. Or you can make Invoked Kaliga, which is going to activate this effect. Okay. Well, not activate, it's a continuous effect, but each player can only attempt to activate one monster effect per turn. Each player can only attack with one monster per battle phase. So, if your opponent can get into a space where they can actually attack you, GG. I mean, good on you. But what's going to happen is when my opponent activates a monster effect, okay, they're going to attempt to activate his effect. Now I'm going to let it go. They're going to put that on field. Activate it to go for, whatever. They can't really, I made a minor error there, but let's see here. Can they activate any effects? Does this have an effect? It does not. Anyway, point being, if my opponent goes to act, I'm gonna switch through and let them have another turn here, but just to kind of show you what I mean. So we activate the Spoon from their hand, and then we go Zathrenga. We then send that. You could even send a link. It doesn't matter. You then have the option to destroy a card they control. Now they're going to normal summon this, and they can't activate her effect. They can't do anything. They're locked out because of Kaliga. GG. Next one is going to be Zora plus. Now, understand this. It could be Zora plus any Magistus monster or Lacrima of Light. So it could be, this is either or. I'm going to show, you know what? I'm actually going to show how deadly this deck can be by throwing in the Secret Village. So we're going to go normal summon the Zora. We're going to activate that. We're going to actually, I mean, you could put, I'm trying to think if I want to put in the grave. You could just put like any of them and then activate his effect. You're going to equip that, use his effect to recover that card from grave. It's not going to matter because they're negated, so that's basically, that's basically a vanilla. You're then going to turn that into link fodder. You're going to go ahead and go for Moon. Moon's going to go ahead and get you to Spoon. So now we went Moon to Spoon. You're going to use Spoon's effect. Spoon's going to grab you Crowley. You're going to go ahead and fuse. You're going to make sure you summon that not in the link zone because that can happen. You're going to activate his effect to get that. So, I mean, just looking at how deadly this deck can be, because you don't need a lot. I mean, like with Spoon, you don't need a lot. Until we get there, the deck's kind of not that good. But it doesn't need a lot to function, and it doesn't really commit a lot to board. So if, your plays get broken up, a lot of the cards in the deck, though, can kind of keep playing. So at this point, we're going to summon out the Riona. We're going to get the Lacrima of Light. We're going to set the Lacrima. We're going to link these away. Pretty much what we did with the first combo, but, this is a 2-card because when these cards were designed, I don't think 1-card combos were really, like, as prevalent. So, just that's kind of where modern Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of moving to. And so now we have my opponent cannot activate spells unless they control a spellcaster. And then we're going to shut them out of using monsters. So they're going to activate this card's effect. Activate his effect. When he does that, we're going to immediately activate Veer to special summon that out. We're going to then chain with this. Now, obviously, since they're playing Magistus, they can activate Veer as well. I'm not going to go, back and forth with that, and you know what I mean. I'm just going to simply show you what we're going to do. We're going to summon him out. Once we summon him out, we're going to, equip that. Sure, we're going to activate the effect. Whatever, it literally doesn't matter. This miss? I got so wrapped up doing, but anyway, this we would have activated that and then got out into Kaliga. And then we would have went on from there. One minor mistake there, my bad. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at Riona, and it's going to be Riona plus either Lacrima, which Riona plus Lacrima is the exact same combo there, because then you just use the you send the Zora and then you recover it with the Vitra, and then you kind of go on from there. But when it's Riona plus any Magistus, it's still good, but it's not as good, and you'll see why here. So I'm going to normal summon the Riona. I'm going to search for the Thurgy. It's not as good because it doesn't go. You can't get to the Riona, the extra deck Riona, and you'll see why here in a second. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to get the Spoon. We're going to go ahead and link away. We're going to activate the Spoon. Add the Crowley. Now Crowley's going to special. You're going to activate Crowley's effect. you're going to special out the Zathrango using the Magistus in hand. That's kind of the workaround for that. You're going to use the one in hand. And then you're going to use his effect to equip the moon. You're going to go over here. You're going to go to you're going to go spoon and target him. You're going to equip the Nianruru, and then you're going to go over here and you're going to go over Riona. You're going to target him, and then you're going to equip the moon. So then you're going to go ahead and take these two. You're going to make Chorizo. Now you can't make, the only thing that sucks here is you can't make the Riona extra deck monster because they're both dark. So you just make the link. So this combo here sadly does not get you to Kaliga, but it's still pretty decent. Set that in the back row. And then what you can do is your opponent takes turn. They do, they summon out. And then we activate our link to bounce it to hand. I don't know how I must have clicked no, but like it shouldn't have missed timing last combo. I just must have clicked no, not paying attention. But then you get that out, and then you get out into either invoke Mechaba is an option because you have Alistair plus a light monster, so that's an option. You can get that out. You can go for the invoke Magistus Omega, or if you want to go for Iwas and steal something. Now understand that Iwas targets, so that's the only thing that sucks about him. But your opponent puts out a big boss monster, or maybe they have a monster on board that they need. You can just go like Iwas, boop, scoop, and ours. So guys, that is the combo video. This is the deck. This thing, man, this is a lot of fun. I've actually been having a lot of fun with this, just kind of playing around with it, and just playing more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. So, guys, hope you liked it. Cypher Slacker.